Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Let's Get Loud podcast. This is your solo podcast episode with A, and I just pressed record. It is today, the day that I'm actually recording the podcast is the day the podcast is coming out, July 26th, which is actually a special day in our lives. Actually, that reminds me. So today is Alfie's birthday. And fun fact, I'm just writing Jose a message because today is Noah's birthday. Isn't that interesting? Um, sorry, I'm texting Jose before I forget. Yeah, Noah was born on the same day as Alfie, which I think is such a cool fact. I'll actually never forget the day that Noah was born. The day before, we were camping in Shediac, and Jose and Dia came to see us, and obviously she was very pregnant. And I think she was like deciding she was going to teach spin that day. I think she had taught spin the day before. And I was like it kind of feels like you're having contractions right now. She was like she was for sure in labor. Anyways, and then I woke up and such an interesting thing is Jose didn't find, so Jose knew Dia was a girl, but then they didn't find out if Noah was a boy or a girl. So that always makes it even more fun when your friend has a baby. And I was in the trailer. We were like renting a trailer. And I remember opening up my phone and she had just texted me the picture of her and Noah. So special. Anywho, so today is Alfie's birthday in my world. And I thought, what a great opportunity to talk about being a mom and when is the perfect time to start taking care of your health. So that is what we are going to talk about today in the podcast. But I just wanted to like say hi as always and give you guys like a little life update. So I don't even remember where I was at when I updated you guys. I think I was telling you guys about just like really wanting to focus on my wellness right now. And I'm doing just that. And it just feels really good. Actually, I went to a step class. Jose owns a fitness studio in Shediac, and we went and she's doing step now. And she did a private class for our friends. And we did a step class, which I used to do like back in the day. And I loved it so much. I sweat. It was fun. And now I want a fitness studio in Riverview. We have two different gyms, and we do have one that a yoga studio, but really not a fitness studio. Like I want like boot camp and step. And anyways, so it really made me think like, oh, wow, that was amazing. I actually reached out to my friend Vito, and she's like one of the fittest people I know. She's one of those people that like this does everything. Like she could just like run 5 kilometers. She can like lift weights. And she sometimes goes to Peak Fitness. So if you guys are listening to this and you go to Peak Fitness or you've gone to Peak Fitness, I would love to hear from you. I decided that, before I changed my mind, I sent her a message. I was like, hey, I want to go with you. I'm scared, like fully scared, fully out of my comfort zone. But I really did enjoy the group environment so much so that I'm willing to consider driving to Dia. That's serious, you guys. Like that is serious. But that does really feel like a little bit of the next step in my wellness journey. And sometimes you just need the opportunity to experience something different to just kind of be like, huh, I really like that. So obviously I love my walks, but you know what I really realized? My walks are really my comfort zone. It's just me, but I want to up it. Let's up it, guys. Let's sweat a little bit. Let's build some muscle. Yeah. So that's what's going on with me. I'm going to hopefully by this time, when this podcast comes out, I will have gone to at least one class at Peak Fitness. We're going to try it out. And then I told Jose we need to open a studio in Riverview. So if you're from Riverview and you're listening to this, I need to hear you say, heck yes, we do. Somewhere we can do spin, step, boot camp, all these fun things. Wouldn't it be amazing? And then I started spiraling and thinking about like, I could do, I want like a front like area, not where you can like sit, but like a takeout, like protein shakes, coffee, maybe like nutrient dense, like treats. Doesn't that sound exciting, everyone? So anyways, that's like what's rolling around in my head right now. But yeah, no, things have been good. Did we go camping since the last time I talked to you guys? Guys, I cannot remember. We went to New River Beach. It was beautiful. No, I think I already updated you guys. Anyways, yeah, we're going camping again. So this is what's happening. We're going tomorrow. Okay, today's Alfie's birthday. So we just opened his gifts. We got him a bunch of Kansas City Chiefs gear and we got him a Lego set. And Neil's like, that kid does not need more Lego. But I'm like, yeah, but how fun is it on your birthday to have something to like build, something to like do? And I feel like Lego is just the gift that keeps on giving. And that kid is 12 and he still plays Lego. So I am going to lean in hard to that Lego loving child of mine. And so, but we're having a birthday party. He wanted a sleepover, puke. Sleepovers are not my favorite, but doing it for the kids, doing it for the kids. So there's 6 boys sleeping over. We're throwing them all in the basement. So that's what we're doing today for Alfie's birthday. And tomorrow we have a wedding. And then the next day we are going camping. And we're going camping at Coochmaquack. And where we go camping is we actually park our car and we carry our stuff into our campsite. Now that sounds more dramatic than it is because it's very close and they have little wagons to help you, but you can't drive your car into the campsite spot. And there is no electricity and there's no running water. Now you can like do a pump and you get water, but I don't think you can drink it. So you'd have to boil your water, bring your water. Anyways, so that is the next adventure that we're going on. All right. So I want to talk about that's life. That's what's going on right now. But what I really want to talk about is kind of motherhood and taking care of yourself. So on my walk, I was thinking, I was like, hey, what am I going to talk about on my podcast tomorrow? And then I thought, what a perfect opportunity on Alfie's birthday to kind of take the time to reflect on, my journey taking care of myself, but as a mother. So I have the experience of having tried to lose weight while before I had kids. I had the experience of losing weight with kids. I had the experience of maintaining and staying connected to my personal development goals as my kids age. And that perspective has given me, I feel like the place to the grounds, I don't know, right to tell you that there is absolutely no perfect time to start taking care of yourself. And, you know, I sometimes people wait or they're waiting or they're telling themselves that it will be easier in the future. And that holds them back from actually creating change in their life. So, when I was trying to lose weight and I was yo-yoing, right? But in my entire adult life, I yo-yoed. Once I got to the point where I was trying to have Alfie, so Alfie is a fertility treatment baby. We had to have fertility treatments to get pregnant with him. And so I went through that roller coaster ride of 2 years of trying to get pregnant, but like also trying to lose weight. And it was just such a difficult time in my life. And I was still using food as like a crutch to deal with my emotions. So I really had to I really chose to let go of trying to create weight loss for myself while I was pregnant. So I think I got pregnant at 220 pounds. So I was near, my heaviest. I didn't gain a lot of weight from my pregnancy. I always say I think it's because I couldn't drink alcohol during my pregnancy, and all the calories that I normally consume from alcohol obviously weren't going in my body. So I think I gained about 20 pounds for my pregnancy. And then I had a newborn. That's traumatic. And then I got pregnant with the twins. So Alfie was only 1 when I got pregnant with the twins. And I think I was around the same weight. I was around 200-ish pounds when I got pregnant with the twins, and I gained 20, 30 pounds. So about the same situation with the twins. So I certainly wasn't my heaviest, but I wasn't my lightest. And I just remember that time and how hard it felt to prioritize myself. Now, fast forward to where I am right now, where the kids are 10 and 12. I truly believe that what makes it easier for me to prioritize myself now that they're 10 and 12 is that I prioritized myself when they were 1 and 3. And the point that I really want to make here today is it's not going to magically get easier. There will always be obstacles. whether it's like physically they need you, whether it's your lack of sleep, whether it's, the emotional stuff that comes with raising older kids, whether it's the demand of activities when you have older kids, and the time constraints and you're always driving them. There will always be things, obstacles. They're not even obstacles, life. And again, it all comes back to diet mentality and you having lived the experience of only losing weight while being on a diet. And diets are very difficult to coexist with actual life. Like a diet is only easy on Monday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's the only time a diet is like easy. And when I say diet, there's no one thing that's diety. Being on a diet is a feeling. Okay. You could watch me and you could be like, oh my gosh, she's on a diet, but I don't feel on a diet. So that's what's important. Okay. A diet is difficult. A diet is it requires a lot of energy mentally, sometimes physically, sometimes time. It requires a lot of resources. A diet requires a lot of resources in order to be followed. Time, money, mental energy, or a combo of the above, right? And when you have like little kids, most often when you have little kids, you're actually lacking all of those resources. And so no wonder we think that we need to wait until the kids are older to create weight loss for ourselves, to prioritize ourselves, because the only way we've ever created weight loss for ourselves was through a diet, was through a way that required so much time, money, mental energy. So I just really want to connect with anyone that's listening that has been telling themselves, it'll be easier when, I'll wait until. And we do this with times, like actual like dates in the calendar, but we also do this with like periods of our life. Like, oh, when my kids go to kindergarten, oh, it's going to be so good. I'm going to be working out all the time. You're not. You're not. A switch will not get flicked and all your habits and change. If you want true change, you ready for this? You start to create the change regardless of your circumstances. And that is actually the definition of accountability. Accountability is a personality trait. And if you are listening to this and you have wanted to start to take care of yourself, I want to tell you that you need to start being accountable to yourself and that you need to start making choices for you regardless of your circumstances. And it doesn't mean that you always make the right choice. It doesn't mean that you always drink the water, you always go for the walk, you always eat the salad. What it means is you own your choices. And you do not use the excuse of the age of your children or the number of your children or your circumstances for the reason you made the choice. I cannot tell you this. I cannot emphasize enough. One thing that is holding so many people back from reaching their full potential is that they are constantly using external circumstances as the reason why they made a choice. And I'm not saying make a different choice. I'm saying own your choice. You are the CEO. You are the boss. It is not that you did not have time to go for your walk. You didn't prioritize it. And that's okay. And so those are kind of two concepts but they really like mesh together. And on the flip side of this conversation, I also want to bring you guys back to the moment that I did decide to start prioritizing myself. And it doesn't need to be about weight loss, you guys. You all deserve to put time, money, and mental energy into you as a human being because you count. You are a part of your family as well. And when I made that decision, it was a very conscious, intentional decision. I had a very aware moment where I looked around my life and I realized the twins were 1 and Alfie was 3. I was working full time outside of the home. I was exhausted, exhausted. I was carrying around a lot of extra fat on my body, fact, and I was tired. And I realized that it was going to be a long time before there was like this magical moment where it was going to be easy to be about me. I realized no one was going to carve out any of the family resources, time, money, and mental energy for me. No one. No one was going to be like, do you know what, Alicia? Why don't you go for your walk right now? There's absolutely nothing to do around the house. The house is perfect. It's clean. The groceries are done. Not one kid needs you. It's the perfect time. I realized that if I waited for the perfect time to do something for myself, that would never arrive. That time would never come. It wouldn't ever be like, do you know what, Alicia? There's an extra $500 in the bank account right now, and we don't need it for anything. Nothing needs fixing in the house. The kids don't need anything. You go take that money and buy yourself a gym membership. I realized in that moment that nobody was in charge of saving me but me. And no one can do it but you. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for someone else to do what you are looking for. That person is you. Look in the mirror. And it doesn't have to be dramatic, you guys. I started so slow. The simplest acts. I started filling up my own water bottle before we left the house. I started making meals that I really wanted and not just meals just for the kids. I started moving my body. I started leaving the kids alone. I know when you look at me now, you're like, oh, wow, look at her. I mean, maybe you think this, I think this, look at that independent woman. She leaves her kids. Like, if you would have told me 9 years ago when I started this whole personal development journey that I would go on a trip for like a week to Hawaii without my children, I would never believe you. That I went for 5 days to Banff with Neil, so left my children not even with Neil, I wouldn't even leave them for like 10 minutes. I started my life as a mom. I really believe part of who I am as a mother started with the way I started my life as a mother, with not being able to get pregnant and spending years doing fertility treatments. And then this like perfect little child arrived, and he was the first grandbaby and he was the only child. And I also had complications after birth, so I was very weak. So I couldn't basically stand for long periods of time. So I didn't do anything when he was first born. Like I wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna like leave you. I chose to breastfeed. Did you hear what I said? I chose to breastfeed exclusively. I chose to not pump. I chose to not give him formula. So it was just me, literally just me, that could keep him alive. So that started my life as a mother. Like they need me all the time. And then I blinked and I was pregnant again with two more. And when we had the twins, Neil's parents didn't live in England. My parents had their own life and they were doing their own thing. It was Neil and I. And we had friends, but they also had young kids. They didn't have extra time, money, mental energy to help us. I mean, we all helped each other, but it wasn't like a lot of people had extra, to give. And so we really started off our life as parents in general, as like, it was just us. And that really, I was so close to losing myself in motherhood. I was so close to giving every single ounce of my resources to my family. But here's the ironic piece. Today, as someone who prioritizes resources for herself, I am a better mom. I am a better wife. And more than anything, I am setting an example for my children that as an adult, it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to leave your family. It's okay to buy yourself a new pair of shoes. It's okay to invest time, money, and mental energy in your own personal development because you matter, because you are a part of the family too. And so if you guys are moms and you are listening to this and you struggle with mom guilt, you struggle to prioritize yourself, I want you to look at your children. And I want you to look at them and say, what do you want them to be as adults? Do you want them to prioritize themselves as adults? The answer is yes. The thing that you can do that's going to have the most impact on that is you model that behavior. They are watching. They think that what you do is normal. what we all do is normal, but we all do different things. And it's their perspective. So their perspective is that mom prioritizes herself. Mom sets aside time, money, and mental energy for her because she matters too. So I just thought it being Alfie's birthday was the perfect time for me to come on here and just, remember, just have my little moment where I remember what it was like to this day, 12 years ago when I became a mom and how that impacted me and how that impacted my health journey. And I just really want to encourage all of you guys to start prioritizing yourselves and your resource. And some of the family's resources deserves to be spent on you. Okay, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you're having an amazing summer. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will be back with another update next Friday. Bye, guys.